How your brain responds to reward or threat. When your parents or your boss praise you, it feels good, right? It helps increase focus at work, which will increase productivity and quality output. It is also good for our health. How do you feel when someone threatens or pressures you? Some of us may be challenged by it and will battle against it head on, while others may flee or escape. Our brain is the powerhouse of the various systems in our body, like our mission control room. So let's see how our brain reacts when we are being rewarded, recognized, or encouraged. Right at the deepest seat of our brain lies the mesolimbic pathway, or the reward center. Our senses are the first to receive the reward pathway stimuli or triggers. So when you see the reward or hear your peers or boss encouraging you and believing in you, your ventral tegmental area will produce dopamine, or the happy hormone. So when the dopamine is released from the VTA, the electrical signal in the neuron of the VTA pushes the dopamine to the neuron of the amygdala, which will produce the appropriate emotion like feeling happy or excited. This signal will also be sent to the hippocampus, which will hold this memory of the specific trigger and the emotion it produced in the core forever, and will demand for more. The nucleus accumbens, which is responsible for motor control or body movements, will be triggered to perform the action again. The dopamine will also be received by our prefrontal cortex, which will trigger increased focus or divert all our consciousness to the reward. This reward pathway tells us that if we recognize or reward people, they will certainly desire to perform well again. Another neurotransmitter will come into play, the serotonin, which is responsible for feeling of satisfaction or content. With the upsurge of dopamine, serotonin goes down, which will make you become less likely to be contented. People will desire for more rewards or recognition, so will perform better. And their prefrontal cortex will help them focus and fire up more brilliant ideas. Sadly, some people subject themselves to artificial dopamine trigger, like drugs or alcohol, maybe because the natural triggers are not present, but serotonin may cause them to become addicted. Now, how about threat? What if your parents or your boss or peers threatens or pressures you to push you to move? How does your brain react to it? Your hypothalamus will release neurotransmitters norepinephrine and cortisol, or the stress hormone, which reaches the amygdala that triggers the feeling of fear. This will result for the hippocampus to capture it and store in its fear memory. Hence, we will remember everything about this threat, which can lead to acute phobias or trigger the fight or flight response. We either fight or avoid as soon as we see the signs of these threats. Norepinephrine will also reach our prefrontal cortex, which will suppress rational thoughts or concentration. This means that if we use threat or fear, we drive people away, and their productivity or quality of work diminishes. Cortisol, or the stress hormone, safeguards our lungs, heart, immune system, metabolism, and circulation, which will help us deal with the threat. This is why we feel nervous, heart rate or breathing increases as stress level increases. However, this is bad for our health. We will become more vulnerable to illnesses. Parents, teachers, Leaders, we have the power to empower. Your words may break or empower them.